morning. Mark Farzetta, Bob Cooney, Jamie Lynch, Pat Egan. Farzetta in the morning here on Ice and 5. The Fanatic. First place Eagles. As you said last night, as you tweeted last night, as you probably confused yourself by saying that last night, that's the state we're in right now. Happy 2020, happy 2020 2.0, happy whatever. It's a weird feeling, but yet, nonetheless, they're in first place. Thanks, Ty. So that happened. The 25-20 victory for the Eagles, I found myself confused. At 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to sleep, and I'm thinking to myself, what did I just watch? I said on Friday they were going to win, and it wasn't going to be pretty, but they were going to win. Defensively, early in the game, it was pretty. Offensively, never really got pretty. Long drives, that's fine. But I was thinking to myself, every day we do takeaways of the day. Every single day we do a takeaway of the day at the end of the show where we all go around. And sometimes it's a poignant takeaway of the day. Sometimes it's a humorous takeaway of the day. And sometimes it's literally just something that is going to stick in our heads for the rest of the day. Hence, takeaway of the day. And I'm thinking, what am I taking away from this win? Like, they won. They're in first place. They beat a backup quarterback. And look, nobody predicted them to win this game, right? Hardly anybody. Let's put it that way. If you look at the national audience or you look at the national pundits, everybody on the Football Night in America and Sunday Night Football set picked the 49ers. Everyone picked the 49ers to beat the Eagles. So they were the underdogs. They had everybody right where they wanted them. And they came out, I'll tell you this much, they at least came out swinging. They at least put up that fight. And that's what they did last night. That would probably be my number one thing, to look at this game and say, what did they do? Oh, well, they fought. You had Carson Wentz come out there and show you that if you can't be a great quarterback, maybe you can be a great athlete. And there are a couple of passes, and every quarterback has those passes that they just miss on, and he certainly had those. But overall, I'll take a guy who will be that gamer, who will be that great athlete, in lieu of someone that'll be a great quarterback. Carson Wentz overall played a good game, was under pressure throughout the entire game, had some throws I know that everyone, including himself, wants to have back, but they still played a good game around Carson Wentz. The other thing I would take away from this game is that whatever Howie Roseman's major gut feeling is, whatever his instinct is, ignore that and go to options 2, 3, and 4. Because the guys that are the number one guys, the guys that were drafted ahead of these undrafted guys, for instance, always seem to have more fight in them than anybody else. That's why you look at Travis Fulgham, all right? I struggle with that name on Friday. Not no more, Bobby.
Oh, no, it's in the tip of your tongue now.
He comes out there and that's 2 catches, 2 big catches, 1 for a touchdown. The touchdown catch he only had run that play 1 other time with Carson Wentz. So I watch that, and then I watch, as everybody else does, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside struggle time and time and time again. Now, inactive last night, didn't play. And then you watch a guy like Fulgham come out there and just give you all he's got. And you know what? It's enough to help you win. You watch a guy like Greg Ward, who couldn't get off the practice squad last year, finally comes in here at the end of last year and this year, and the guy's your best receiver. Think about that. A guy that was a practice squad undrafted quarterback in college is one of your best wide receivers. That's amazing. So whatever Howie Roseman's first instinct is, just ignore it and go to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe just down the line. And maybe just stick with that.
Yeah. You don't need number 1 draft picks. You don't need, big time free agents to come here and catch balls.
No.
You need the Wards and you need the Fulghams and you need the guys like that Carson Wentz can say, I am steps and steps above you. You are my servant. You catch for me.
There you go. Now, the other thing is, the Eagles go on a 12-minute drive in the third and the fourth quarter. And I'm thinking, they got to come away with something here. And they really felt like they were coming away with nothing, really. And one of the things that I was thinking was, where's your best player?
Yeah, that was weird.
Where's your where Miles Sanders disappear? Did he get hurt? Was he winded? Was he tired again? What was the problem?
Fast forward to the end of the game, the only explanation is that he's hurt.
Hurt, yeah. Or he got winded again.
Otherwise, there's no viable reason why he wouldn't be on the field. Otherwise, if Deuce Staley is trotting out Corey Clement and Boston Scott with the game on the line, he should probably be fired.
Did you get in your mind that it might have been a fumble issue?
He's only had 3. Like I think it's
know.
a little overblown.
I agree with you, but I was thinking.
I saw people tweeting that.
Yeah, I didn't even see the tweets, but the only reason I could come up with was, wow, they're that afraid that he might fumble.
What do you have? 18 rushes?
I think so. That's your marquee guy, though.
Yeah, he's your best player by far.
Yeah.
Offensively.
But you said 18 touches or rushes?
Touch.
It must have been touches.
All right. But either way,
Not enough.
This particular drive, these particular possessions, 17 times he goes without carrying the football. You run 17 offensive plays, and you're not thinking, hey, let me just hand the ball to my best player. That wasn't
He
an
had
option.
15 touches in total, 13
15.
carries, 2 receptions.
Yeah, he's got to be more hurt, right? Otherwise, this makes no sense.
Remember, he went into the game with a sore glute.
Butt hurt.
He was butt hurt, in other words, and he still disappears for 17 straight offensive plays.
It's very bizarre.
You don't hand him the football. Again, especially in a time where your offensive line was having their struggles throughout this game. Carson Wentz was getting hit. Carson Wentz was getting pressured. Carson Wentz was being forced out of the pocket. Some on design, good job, Doug, and some not so much on design, more of a in case of emergency break glass type scenario. But to the point, 17 straight plays, you never just thought, let me hand the ball off to this guy? Nobody asked him about it after the game. I didn't hear him say anything about Miles Sanders after the game. And I don't see any report of Miles Sanders furthering the injury to his butt. So I don't know what the hell happened on that one.
That's all I got. Because nothing makes sense otherwise.
But something else jumped out at me in this game. And although it didn't feel like it because they didn't necessarily end the game with great fight, defense came up huge in this game. And I know that it was crazy to follow it, but you're watching Rodney McLeod come up with an interception in the red zone. You're watching Crayvon LeBlanc come up, forcing a fumble, taking the ball away in the fourth quarter when you're down 3 points. Then you also watch, and I love this guy, Alex Singleton. Great story. If you don't know his story, great guy, easy guy to root for. Comes up with a pick 6 to help solidify this victory. And overall, the defense comes up with 5 sacks. But, man, when they were driving down the field with their third-string quarterback, despite all what the defense had done throughout the game, I thought, if they score a touchdown here and they win this game, Jim Schwartz has to find his own way home. There's no way Jim Schwartz should be the defensive coordinator for the rest of the season if you have them coming down the field with their third-string quarterback and they score a game-winning touchdown.
He throws 8 straight completions because you decide to play a defense of, yeah, go ahead, just throw it underneath. We'll give up 10, 12, whatever yardage it may be. And not to be negative, but can Jim Schwartz design a defense to stop what the other team is going to do? I mean, we all went in there and said, oh, my God, Kittle. Jamie put $1,000 on Kittle having over 100 receiving yards last night. The guy had 15 catches on 15 targets. Nate Gary couldn't cover you, Mark.
Oh, it wasn't even Nate Gary.
I played hoops with you on Friday. I know what kind of an athlete you are. And I'm not saying it's a down to you, but he's supposed to be a professional athlete. He could not cover you.
That wasn't even the one that stuck out to me. The one that stuck out to me was you're in the goal. You're third and goal. You're leading barely in this game, 8-7, and their second touchdown of the game goes to guess who? George Kittle, and guess who's covering George Kittle? Did you see who was covering George Kittle on that red zone play?
On the 5-yard touchdown pass,
Duke Riley.
I thought, that's a step up from Nate Gary.
Duke Riley, who didn't even record a stat for the Falcons before you acquired him last year, is now all of a sudden, he could barely play special teams for the Atlanta Falcons last year, and now he's your starting outside linebacker.
Yeah.
And he's not just that, he finds himself on George Kittle. And they go up and they leave this game 14-8 after that play. Sometimes you just bang your head against the wall, and somehow magically, not only did the Eagles just squeak out and eke out a victory, not only did they just win this game, they're in first place with a 1-2-1 record. It's not just some, oh, wow, look, they won a game. Good for them. They found a way to win. It's they found a way to win, and they found a way into first place in the NFC East. How weird, how 2020 is that? Because you really couldn't write a better headline than that, a weirder headline, a more fitting headline for 2020 in the NFL season. It was a crazy game to watch. And sometimes it felt like it was lulling you to sleep, and then the defense came up. And by the way, defense also came up with 5 sacks. And then they make a play and save your hide. And then you'd watch Carson overthrow, underthrow, not hit a guy in stride, and that would get your ire up a little bit. And then he'd scramble for a first down on third and 9. And you think, you know what? Fine, let me get that athlete, let me get that gamer, because right now I feel like the quarterback version of Carson Wentz is on hold for a while.
I totally think that you have to go with him as a runner anymore. I swear to God. He just seems to get into the game more if he's running. Mm-hmm. The straight drop back, it just doesn't work with him anymore.
No, he doesn't
He's
feel
not
like a pocket passer
Now,
anymore.
look, there's a lot of stuff with the offensive line, and, Jordan Mailata, God bless him. Here you go, Egan. Jordan Mailata played a pretty decent game last night.
Yeah, he
Didn't
did.
hear his name an awful lot. But, my God, Doug, he can't drop straight back and throw a pass. It just doesn't work anymore. Not with this offensive line, not with the receivers you have. You have to get him on the run. You have to get him on the move.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
Watch the Browns offense. Poach something from that. Baker Mayfield's on the move constantly.
So Carson Wentz plays last night, obviously, and you see him get less than 200 yards again. Baker Mayfield's team put up 49 points, and he didn't even get 200 yards either. Passing,
Yeah.
like that's insane.
But he's always on the move.
He's always on the move. He's always out of the pocket, and he's making plays downfield.
Carson's good on the move. Use it.
The only thing is Carson rarely makes plays downfield. The Fulgham touchdown was one that you looked at and went, "Oh wow, that was actually up there for a while."
Yeah.
And I thought, and people took this as an insult. People took this as like a snarky comment because a couple people told me to shut up. Like I was being sarcastic. I thought that was obvious.
You didn't use your sarcasm font?
No, but I thought
see
it
if
was,
people don't know. Yeah.
But when you say you throw a ball like that because you trust Travis Fulgham, like that's sarcasm. That's sarcasm.
It's implied.
I would think so, but yet he makes that throw that we've rarely really seen him make. Leaves it up there in the air enough for Fulgham. By the way, who said after the game he lost the ball initially, but because Carson threw such a good ball, such a high ball, he was able to relocate it and bring it down for the touchdown. And then, by the way, fight to get into the end zone, which I love seeing. Like that right there was a great play design, great play to run. It's just rare that we ever see that play being run. And rare do we ever see Carson Wentz trust a wide receiver to make that play. And of all people, we see him trust Travis Fulgham. And whatever, whatever works. But 2 guys that did jump out to me yesterday were your 2 wide receivers that were the big play guys for the offense. Greg Ward coming up with some big plays. John Hightower came up with a great 4th down catch.
Yeah.
Perfect. That was when Carson Wentz had to be perfect, that was a perfect throw on a slant route that we had seen him underthrow or overthrow on 2 separate occasions in that game. And he put it right on the money to John Hightower. And then the other pass was the touchdown pass to Travis Fulgham. But I look at this game, and there's obviously those notes that you could take away from it, and there's the things that you'll think about for the rest of the week. If I have to think about one thing for the rest of this week, it really is the point I made about Howie Roseman. And it's like, if you look at Doug Peterson and you look at Howie, and if their brains combine to make this roster what it is for the 53-man roster and what it is on game day, you got to go with your 3rd or 4th instinct, because I think Alex Singletary can play some defense for you. I also think that you have guys like Greg Ward, John Hightower, and Travis Fulgham who want to make plays for you, so let them go out there and make plays. And for the life of me, I can't figure out, on a final thing, I can't figure out why and how Miles Sanders would go without carrying the football through your longest sustained drives, 17 plays without running the football once with your marquee player. I don't know how that happens. That is something that has to get corrected. And I know that the defense made some big plays last night, but tell me right now, when they were marching down the field at the end of that game, you felt like this game was on the line. Like, tell me right now, you had a lot. Tell me you had confidence that the defense was going to get off the football field.
No, I tweeted out, fire Jim Schwartz.
Before
I'm sick of his bleep.
You're sick of his bleep.
Well,
they won the game because their defense played so good.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, and he
That's
only
great.
gave up 20 points. I hear you. It is so
To a
frustrating.
backup quarterback and then almost a 3rd-string quarterback.
He
It's
tried
the-
to give you the game. He literally threw the ball at Alex Singleton.
They finally get turnovers, fire the defensive coordinator.
Yes.
So do you think, the defense finally got turnovers. Did they make plays?
Yes, absolutely they made plays.
Yeah, the fumble was a great.
The fumble was good. The fumble was fine.
5 sacks after 8 last
My
week.
God, I thought the defensive line played really well.
Defensive line.
I did.
Jannard
I had,
Avery.
for the first time last night this season, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, they're going to get to the quarter. I really had that feeling last night that they were, the interceptions, my God. I mean, Egan could have made those interceptions, and I've seen him as an athlete, and he's horrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're just evaluating us now.
Yeah, I am.
There's enough in the game, Bob. Come
No,
on.
there is, yeah. But yeah, I don't. you seem to do things well when you were attacking defensively, when you were getting good, and then you go exactly the opposite towards the end of the game and you play prevent. I don't get it a little bit, Jamie. I saw your tweet. I don't,
it's probably an in-game overreaction.
No,
but
it
I'm
is.
just sick
Oh,
of it.
you think?
But
No.
it is so tiring. It is so tiring.
Like, I thought George Kittle was going to catch that at the end.
Are you playing to your
yeah.
strengths? As a defense, are you playing to your strengths?
No, because yesterday they saw a franchise. This is what Kyle Shanahan saw. He goes, let me just look back on the last 15 years of Eagles football, last decade really. Oh wow, no linebackers. Oh wow, I got George Kittle back. Ha. Oh, you're going to put Kayvon Wallace on him, a rookie? All right, good luck to you.
Oh yeah, The Eagles aren't going to do anything different.
No,
because they never do that. They never try to hide their weaknesses or try to do something special to take away a team's strength.
See, but this is the thing, I enjoy this because I was on the same plank that everybody else was on top of shark-infested waters, right? And I'm looking down at the Sharks, and all of them, it's basically what the 49ers were doing offensively and what they were doing with George Kittle throughout the game. And I'm looking over at the conversation also about firing Jim Schwartz, and I was there. In the final drive of the game, I was there with everybody else thinking if they score a touchdown with a third-string quarterback, it's over for Jim. Bye-bye, bye-bye, Jim.
And it wasn't just that drive. It was the drive before, too, where he marched downfield, what was it, 90 yards? Just about?
Yeah.
And scored. Mm-hmm. Like, it was the same prevent sticks crap. You're playing scared, frankly.
Mathematically, the Sticks defense has worked.
Oh, yeah.
But bottom line is...
That's great. They were picking up like 17 yards a play, and they were at 40-yard line in about 4 seconds.
But defense comes up with 5 sacks and 3 huge turnovers.
Yeah.
Huge turnovers, each one of them. In a game like this, every turnover is huge. And they finally win the turnover battle. And we're still screaming about how bad the defensive coordinator is. That's where I was.
It's a culmination.
That's where I was at the end of that game last night. But it was a little bit too close for comfort. And then it was also Jim Schwartz, speaking of too close for comfort, allowing them to drive down the football field and nearly score what would have been the game-winning touchdown.
All right, so we have to dive into this.
What's that?
How'd you like how the quarterback played?
Like I said, he's an athlete who's hopefully going to be a quarterback again someday. Honestly, that was the first takeaway I said was I looked at Carson Wentz and I said, you know what? I will take a guy that's a gamer a step above a guy that's a game manager. Because at least the guy that's the gamer will go out there and make a play for you to win. He'll put you in a position to win. Whether that's the 3rd and 9 scramble where he got the first down, or whether that is, something where he's just trying to keep the ball alive in the pocket like his first interception, like his interception happened last night. By the way, similar to last week against the Bengals, Carson Wentz, I thought in his first couple of plays, looked like he established a little bit of rhythm, looked like he was getting out of the pocket, looked like he was mobile a little bit. He was making some plays, just like last week, and then ball tipped, interception.
Oh, my God. And they didn't even show that. They didn't even show a replay.
No.
I guess they replayed it on the field to make sure it was a catch. But the thing about Carson, what he's reminding me of right now, Mark, and I'm kind of getting a little more confident with him, I'll equate it to basketball. He's a shooter whose shot is off, so he's driving to the basket. Okay? He's a guy that's trying to find some way to get himself going, even though what his bread and butter is, obviously throwing the ball as a quarterback, his bread and butter isn't there right now fully. So he's just trying to keep himself in the game, his team in the game, however it may be. And you pointed it out great. He's a great athlete. Use your athleticism to get the most out of him right now, and then hope that passer comes back. And I think this is a great way to work him through it. Get his legs moving. Jamie, you're right. They have to do that more. I mean, they got
constantly
like rollouts, anything they have to do, because he just, as I said earlier, he can't drop straight back right now and complete anything. And a lot of it has to do with the offensive line and a makeshift one that it was. But they just have to figure out Carson more and more. But I really do think he's playing himself back into a shadow of what he was by just being, as you said, Mark, physical, an athlete, running, making plays with his feet. That's what you have to do right now.
All right, if I was to take one major positive takeaway from this, other than the fact that the division stinks, I mean, it really has to come down to how your wide receivers played. It has to come down to Greg Ward. It has to come down to Travis Fulgham. Who only had 2 catches for you, but they were big catches. Like, that's my positive vibe going forward. Anything else out there other than the division sucks, I don't know. Your defense finally forced turnovers.
More specific than the division sucks, an extreme positive for the Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys defense might be the worst in the NFL.
49
I can't believe how bad
they're
they are.
atrocious. And that's why I said it at the time. Taking CeeDee Lamb was dumb by them. Like, The offense isn't their
You
problem.
mean like taking a backup quarterback in the second round, dumb?
Not that dumb, but dumb.
Whoa. He just said the Eagles were dumb.
Yeah.
No, Davion Taylor was a worse pick than Jalen Hurts. I digress.
By the way,
They're atrocious.
can we stop seeing the Jalen Hurts experiment? For a
Yeah,
little
they
bit?
need to stop forcing that. With the game on the line is when you go to your trickiest plays.
3rd and 34. Hey, Jalen Hurts, you're our sacrificial lamb. Go ahead out there.
Yeah, and then like the reverse on 1st and 10 where you lose
What the hell are
17
they?
yards.
And who'd they hand it to?
Killins. Yeah.
What are you doing there?
You know, they were looking
That
for
was a
another,
WTF play of
Oh,
the match.
yeah.
that was another Travis Fulgham attempt.
Yeah,
They were
the-
like, oh, let's just try this guy out. See
The
how he
Hurts
does.
thing's a little forced right now.
That one didn't work. Oh, the Hurts thing is very forced
Yeah.
right now. 610-632-0975. I mentioned my takeaways of this. If you had to take away one thing, Bob, would it be the way the quarterback played?
Yeah, my one takeaway might be way to go offensive line, standing up, and I don't even know who the hell was out there anymore.
No holding penalties that I recall.
You know, they weren't mentioned
start
all
by
that
Mailata.
Yeah,
all that
one,
much.
yeah.
So yeah, but quarterback, tough game for him.
Tough game for
yeah,
the quarterback.
he toughed it out.
Jamie, number one thing?
The offensive line stood out to me considering the circumstances they were in with Lane going in and out. I thought they weren't great, but they were pretty better than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
And Carson Wentz played his most complete game of the year.
All right. Pat Egan, your major takeaway from that Eagles victory?
It was what Jamie just said, but I'll go with Deuce Staley's trash rotations continue.
Okay. All right. 610-632-0975. Want to get in on the program? We got Angel with open lines after that. When we come back, we'll let you hear the head coach after the game. He didn't go underdog, quite frankly, but he definitely didn't hit the panic button. We'll hit that when we get back here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, about Parks Casino and Sports.
Mark Farzetta with Bob Cooney and Jamie Lynch. Mornings on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.